Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Enter Crypto, where every single day I keep you informed and fully up to date on all things happening in the world of crypto. If that sounds like something you would be interested in, then like, subscribe and click on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any future updates. So today we're going to be talking about an article from Cointelegraph, and it's titled "Bitcoin no longer is the asset of choice for criminals," and this is according to former Elliptic crypto advisor. As always, guys, we'll read through the article quickly and then we'll comment and remark after. So criminals have moved away from using Bitcoin for money laundering, with stablecoins emerging as an alternative due to accessibility. Crime in Web3 is shifting away from Bitcoin to stablecoins, and Ponzi schemes remain prevalent. This is according to Elliptic's former head of technical crypto advisory. Tara Annison shared the latest insights from the murky world of crypto-related crime during a presentation on the final day of ETHCC in Paris. Addressing a wide variety of ways digital assets are either facilitating crime or being used to launder funds. The presentation drew Web3 crime insights from Elliptic, chain analysis, and TRM Labs, with Annison talking in her capacity as a former employee of Elliptic, having recently left the firm. According to Annison, Bitcoin is no longer the cryptocurrency of choice for illicit activities or laundering money. As the cryptocurrency industry has matured, the establishment of decentralized finance protocols, mixing services, and stablecoins present new avenues for criminals to explore. Criminals have shifted towards using dollar-denominated assets like USDC, with their easy accessibility and ability to be laundered through decentralized exchanges. The criminals use that as a target point. It's also super easy to launder through DEXs. DEX is a decentralized exchange. There's deep liquidity now and it's really good volume, so that's pretty worrying. Annison highlighted a potential silver lining from a law enforcement perspective, noting that centralized issuers like Circle could freeze specific USDC tokens before criminals can off-ramp out of the asset into fiat through DEXs or centralized exchanges. What we're seeing now is an increased number of accounts with USDC and USDT being blacklisted, and these are frozen funds that the criminals now cannot access. Ponzi and pyramid schemes remain a feature of the sector, with Annison noting that $7.8 billion were stolen from unwitting victims of these types of scams. Criminals are finding more sophisticated ways to launder funds. Annison said chain swapping and asset swapping are prevalent as criminals try to hide illicit activity. We've seen that to the tune of about $4.1 billion, so they hop across using a DEX, they use a coin swap service, they use a mixer, they use a bridge, all basically to try and throw blockchain analytics firms off the trail. Annison said that $1.2 billion stolen from DEXs eventually ends up on centralized exchanges. In comparison with previous years, scams in the sector are down 46%. The reason, according to Annison, is the ongoing bear market, which has inevitably made the sector less appealing for cybercriminals. They're less hyped up, the prices are lower, so it's not as profitable for criminals, so at least next time we're in a bear market, do bear in mind that the scams are at least down. Annison also touched on the increasing use of crypto to evade sanctions and finance terrorist activities, highlighting Tron and Tether as popular assets for illicit use. The advent of metaverse experiences has also seen the space attract nefarious actors. Various crimes are emerging in virtual worlds, including phishing attacks, NFT theft, wallet tainting, and augmented reality hacks. Annison's presentation highlighted the reality of criminal activity in the sector, which will demand increased security measures to protect users and combat illicit activities. Now, my own personal thoughts on this is that ETH is not a lot. If we were engaging in illicit activity, ETH would not be more preferable over Bitcoin, were it not just for the fact that ETH is quicker to use and quicker to get confirmation, so that I get it into the next block. Whereas with Bitcoin, I might have to wait up to 10 minutes to get into the next block. That's if I've paid enough fees. And I'm going to have to wait an hour to have it fully confirmed, which is kind of 6 confirmations, the standard for Bitcoin that people wait. And there are Bitcoin mixers. There's different wallets like Samurai Wallet and other mixing services for Bitcoin. So all this kind of thing can be done on Bitcoin, but it can also be done on ETH, except the ETH confirms much quicker You know, it's ETH has a block coming out every, I think, 6 or 12 seconds. No, I think it's every 12 seconds. I think it's Polkadot that's every 6 seconds. And so it's just confirmed quicker. It's just easier and quicker. And you get all the same services that you would get on Bitcoin as well. You know, Ether in its own right is kind of a money, or it's certainly a commodity within the the Ethereum ecosystem. But what has surprised me in this article is that they've only mentioned Bitcoin and Ethereum, or Ethereum tokens and Tron as well, when really we should be talking about Monero. You know, Monero is really the what I would call the dark web or dark net darling. It is untraceable. It's completely anonymous. It's, you know, it hides the transaction amount. It hides the receiver's address. And if you're ever worried about your own privacy, Monero is really the number one crypto. It's truly brilliant what they're doing, and that is the guys at the Monero Research Labs, or MRL. There's loads of development going on through a guy called Co, and through the Monero core team. There's also lots going on the wallet side with a company called Cake that do an app called Cake Wallet. It's an iOS app, and they do two apps actually. They do one that's specifically for Monero, and they do one that actually works for a range of cryptocurrencies, and you can exchange and swap your crypto within it. But it's super Monero friendly, and Vic is actually who runs the company at Cake. Is a really successful guy, very friendly. If you ask him to help you with anything online, he's always there to help, and he's always doing sort of giveaways and things like that to keep attention on the community, and he's just an all-round good guy. He's not the only one though. We also have Justin Ehrenhofer, who also works at Cake. He was responsible for, I think there's a couple of others, but he was responsible for, or certainly hosted the Breaking Monero series on YouTube. And if you haven't looked into that, give that a go, because that is just, totally amazing. I learned so much watching that series. And so I couldn't let this article, I couldn't read this out and give out my thoughts on this article without mentioning Monero, because it really is the number one, and because it's does its job so well when it comes to transferring value, that criminals also use this, and it has been on the rise. And I truly believe that before long it will be the number one crypto. Well, not the number one, I think it already is the number one, but it will be the only currency used on the darknet markets. So that's all I have for you today. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Big shout out to the guys over at Cake, and also to the Monero core team. They really are doing an amazing job there. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found you got some value from this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.